Mhm. Okay. So good morning on this Friday, February 10th, 2023. Welcome to my channel, Philadelphia Walks PTSD. Go ahead and subscribe and single-handedly become part of the family. A good one. So anyway, my name is Sharon Cole, or Sharon, or Cole, or whatever when you call me. It's totally fine. I am here to talk about what I usually talk about, which is whatever I was slammed with and whatever game began in 2011. And really quick, I wanted to say it's a hot one here in Philadelphia. We've had mild temperatures as if it were spring weather leading up to the Eagles game this Sunday, the Super Bowl 57, Heinz 57, Physique 57, what have you. 57's coming up all over the place. So I happen to be 52. They won the 52nd Super Bowl, and I think my sister, is she 55 or 56? So anyway, it's like a 4-year. I guess she would be 56. So anyway, she'll be 57 in a few months. I think I have to keep double checking. 66 to 23. No, that would be 56. Anyway, whatever. So point being. I was made to believe that I'd be murdered in my apartment. There was a series of events that created this whole scene, if you will, or environment conducive to producing whatever this was. Leading up to this day, there are a lot of things going on. I even had people who I was hanging out with who I thought were really good friends, and they were super healthy people. It's not like, oh, who are you hanging out with? No, these were seemingly super healthy people engaged in lots of physical fitness or whatever, and they're working here, working there, principal at a major school for design. Anyway, so it's a whole thing, but they started to behave in such a way that shook my foundation and made me second guess things, or made me wonder, like, are they actually friends? They're being too confusing to be friends. And this would be through text messaging, email, or in person. It's like that. Are they actually yahoos playing some sort of game or whatever? But anyway, leading up to me being scared out of my apartment, my life changed on a dime. I actually did believe I'd be murdered. It was like 3,000, 5,000, 10,000%. I was certain that was the last night of my life. When the games kicked off, all kinds of crazy stuff ensued, including these so-called friends who would say confusing things, and they would actually behave in manners that made it worse. And my life really did change on a dime. So anyway, fast forward, all these years later, my experience, I went through all sorts of phases. But I do know this. In 2011, the weather was crazy. Blizzards, snowstorms, we got socked with snowstorms, one after the other, one after the other. We had like 2 to almost 3 blizzards. We had a state of emergency when the city shut down, the state might have shut down. The whole nation was sort of in a grind, like, what do I want to say, in a gridlock, if you will, frozen to a halt. Even in, I think it was Chicago, people passed away on the highway because they were stuck in their cars because a storm came through so quickly that they couldn't drive home from their workplaces like they normally would, or whatever they were doing. So some people actually passed away in their cars because they were stuck, locked down, if you will, on the highways of Chicago. All kinds of stuff, and everything seemed heightened in my mind. I would read the news and it was like 10 times, someone ran into, I don't know if it was Chicago or Detroit, but someone ran into a police station there and shot like 4 officers dead. So all of that happened within the first week of what I was experiencing. So it's almost like there was a glitch in the supercomputer system, or the whole world was turned upside down, and all kinds of, it was like Wacky Wednesday, but on steroids in a deadly way every single day. So today, this year, we have incredibly mild weather, a stark contrast to what was going on in 2011. It is the opposite. We are out here like sweating. It's already at 9:27 in the morning. It's already 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Normally, it would be like 29 degrees, or maybe 38 on, on a good day without any precipitation or anything like that. We haven't had any snow yet, except for like 3 seconds of a showing of some few light snowflakes. And the best part of living in the New England area, or in these states up here in the mid-Atlantic or north, would be snow. So it's quite a disappointment to not have snow. But with that said, it's mild. We're having the Super Bowl on Sunday. I kind of wonder how it all works out, and what it means to people who have certain beliefs. If things are heating up before the Super Bowl, if the heat is out there, the heat's come in to secure this city, just to protect it from any major problems should the team win and there be a parade and all this other stuff. So I guess they call it heat for a reason. I'm kidding. I don't know. I actually wonder how the universe and how this level of the earth plane versus the stratosphere versus the ozone, I wonder if it can be affected and or controlled by certain elements and certain things going on. And in addition, I was reading somewhere about how sports teams operate like franchises. I guess they're like a franchise. And it struck me like, and the thing is, I'm rooting for the Eagles. Of course, I'm here in the Eagles country and I want them to win. I want people to be raised up and to feel like they're winning per se. I try not to operate too much in a hierarchy of power dynamics, because too many people can feel like losers when there are people who when there's a world, and not in football operates a different way, but when there is an actual world of business and money and stuff like that stomps on people, tramples on them, and slaughters people, even if people are fully equipped and are incredibly intelligent and have a lot of confidence, not everybody wins. Anyway, everybody knows this. The people in denial would be the people who keep stomping on people to take everything. So anyway, but they operate like franchises. So my issue is with that word franchise and the idea of a pyramid scheme and who has more money and who doesn't, who's at the top, who's at the bottom. And it's almost impossible for people from the bottom to ever climb up to the top of, say, the pyramid, of the Egyptian pyramids, of the Mayan ruined Chichen Itza pyramids. In fact, there was a news piece recently about a man thought it was okay. He was walking up the steps of the Chichen Itza pyramid, and some people started to come after him saying, "You're not allowed to climb all the way up there." I don't know if the signage wasn't in place or what the problem was. You used to be able to climb all the way up. I know this because many, many years ago, my dad and the step family went on vacation to Cancun, Chichen Itza, what have you. And I went along, and I was too afraid. I could only go up a few steps and I'm like, whoa, that's enough for me. And someone else ran right up. And I was like, I wonder why she doesn't feel any fear of heights or scared. And some people are saying, well, these days, they don't want people running all the way up because they don't want people being found out that they are helped too much by the sky. And I don't mean God, I mean puppeted. So if it's too easy for you, there's a reason. If it's harder, you're more normal and you're concerned and stuff like that. If it's too easy, who's the puppet master over here making someone look super good, super awesome, Well, everybody else feels like a schlump and a loser, So anyway, and that's not the case in all cases. I'm just saying, if whatever. But franchises, pyramids, pyramid schemes, there will always be people at the top gaining from those at the bottom. I do think my sister said something like, hey, you got $10,000 somewhere to buy a ticket to How many people are spending that much money to go to the Eagles game when they could invest and save for their future should anything happen? Ouch, $10,000. Is that how much it costs to? I'm sure there are tickets somewhere for a little bit less, but who's in that stadium in Arizona this weekend? Are you kidding me? $10,000 could buy me a tiny home. I would rather have a home and invest, although tiny homes don't appreciate. I've looked into everything. I want something that will appreciate over time. Not to, I'm sure it's totally awesome to go and see and watch this game. Obviously, it's a great time, but $10,000 to most people is a lot of money. If it weren't, I'd be getting $10,000 donations every day, right? So where are all the wealthy people sucking up those tickets? Because they're all moving and shaking and playing the game. How many people win and how many people lose? I didn't wind up losing in the end. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm not on the ground being stomped on, and they know it. And some people wanted that because it's easier if Sharon's a doormat. And we were supposed to totally destroy her. She was supposed to wind up on like 600 prescription pills trying to get by. Instead, I wound up green juicing, being a yogi, in fact, teaching yoga, and looking better than she ever did. So anyway, that's a little bit of for some people who were trying to take me down. There's a major takedown program going on all the time. I think a new cycle has kicked in, and the world is now prepping for the next group of targets. I actually feel like there's been a turning point because I see how people are behaving, and it's like people are being trained or learning and honing the skill or perfecting a science or custom designing it for whoever is going to get whooped or who they think they're going to kick the ass of next. It's like when the bell bottoms return. But they brought back the bell bottoms from the 70s or the 60s, whatever. It's just the constant churning. Who's next? And it's a constant takedown program. Who can we keep bringing down? The thing is, those people don't really gain internally. There's a thing called the internal locus of control compared to people whose entire lives are based on external validation. That external validation, you take that out of the equation, these people are dead in the water. They aren't whole beings internally. I'm able to be alone because I have internal locus of control. I have never loved myself more in my entire life because of how badly people behaved and how ugly this was. I got to the point of, I can't believe people were willing to do this. And at some point, I had to keep talking to myself. I was a normal person with normal insecurities and everything else. These days, hey, you want to date me and hang out for up until Valentine's Day and then break up with me? I'll get over it that quick. Won't even shed a tear. Okay, happy Valentine's Day, and I can buy myself flowers, kind of. I'll get some cheap one. I'll get like a cheap thing from like Trader Joe's or whatever. But still, you know what I mean. So have a nice day. Think about franchises. Think about the pyramid schemes of the world. And think about how long are people still at the bottom. Okay, thank you. And donations happily accepted. Is the government a pyramid scheme? I don't know. I guess so. Someone wants me to know, I guess like the dollar bill and the all-seeing eye at the top. Okay, have a great day. Thank you.